Greetings everyone, it's Kaz here, and today I wanted to discuss a game that was revealed at E3 2017. It was revealed first at EA's press conference with a teaser, and then we proceeded to get a big gameplay piece, a big gameplay chunk of the game that we saw at Microsoft's conference, and that closed the show for Microsoft, and that game is Anthem. So Anthem is BioWare's new IP that has been in the works for quite some time. As a matter of fact, the main team behind the original Mass Effect trilogy is working on this game and has been doing so for quite a while, and there were rumours going into E3 that it was finally going to be revealed, and it was, and I was let down personally. Now, I've never really been a BioWare fan, I've never played the original Mass Effect games, so I really don't have much of a connection to the studio, but I am a big role-playing game fan, specifically open world Western role-playing games I love very much, and BioWare, some of their RPGs have always kind of appealed to me, I feel, and I was always willing to give some of the more modern ones a try as well. So I was thinking, you know, if they're making a new IP, maybe this is my chance to finally give BioWare RPGs a good shot, but apparently that's not happening anymore because unfortunately, Anthem is certainly not my cup of tea. So as I mentioned, it closed Microsoft's conference, the big gameplay reveal for Anthem, and it certainly made a statement visually. The game is gorgeous, and you would have to be blind not to admit that or see that. It is perhaps one of the best looking video games I've ever seen. Now, will this reflect the final version of the game? Probably not, but we will have to wait and see in that regard. Obviously, we've had many circumstances in the past where upcoming games look just absolutely incredible. They look, as a matter of fact, so good that you're not sure if you can believe it. And then eventually, in the past, we've seen when those games are released, yes, and you do the side-by-side comparison to the original E3 demo, you realise, actually, yeah, it was never going to look that good, was it? So, there's a good chance that Anthem will end up like that. For now, from what we've seen of it, it was gorgeous, and it was a great way to end Microsoft's press conference in that regard, because it ended the conference with a bang, a huge new IP from a huge studio, and it looks gorgeous, and just because it doesn't interest me, which I'll get into in a little bit, it certainly had a great impact on not only me visually and in terms of intrigue, but it did so in a large portion of the gaming community as well. So in that respect, it certainly was a great choice to end the Microsoft briefing this year, because it certainly had a large amount of impact. So the game looks visually gorgeous, and I'm sure it's going to make waves when it comes out, whenever that may be. We'll see if it actually happens in 2018 or not. But as I mentioned, I could not care less, because the genre that this game is just genuinely bores me to tears. The gameplay demo opens, and it's really cool. We get the first-person perspective of the character you're playing as in the world. You're talking to this bloke, and you get a glimpse of what this world is like, and I'm sure it's going to be filled with lore, and it's going to be fantastic in that regard. And from there, I was like, oh my god, this game looks awesome. And then the part where they go out of that kind of, I guess, town or civilized region, and they get in their suits that they call javelins in the game, and then we start getting the incredibly obnoxious artificial dialogue between what's meant to be represented as actual players playing the game, and it's really bad. And it really grinds my gears that this has become a trend in terms of how we reveal games, because obviously the big, I guess, MMO, looting, leveling up style of games, Destiny style of games, are becoming a lot more mainstream in terms of console releases. Developers and publishers choose to reveal them typically, as we've seen in the past, and as they did with Anthem notably, they did so using this artificial voice chat, where you hear these people talking who are meant to represent players of the game, and they're talking like it's meant to be realistic to give you a feel of how the game is going to work, but it's not realistic in the slightest because they're talking way too seriously, and it just doesn't work. It really doesn't. It's this weird contradicting thing where that decision was clearly made to reveal the game in that manner, so the audience watching the trailer can get a feel for how the game is going to play, but in the same respect, it does the exact opposite of that, because this dialogue is not how the game is going to play at all. So no one's going to talk like that in the game, and it really makes no sense, and it really bugs me. But anyway, I hope publishers stop doing that from now on. But anyway, that is how EA chose to reveal this game. They chose to use that kind of strategy, and even though the genre overall, this kind of MMO style of genre where you're looting, leveling up, trying to get higher numbers to get higher numbers to get higher numbers, replaying missions, just bores me to tears. I could not care less about that style of game. Obviously, there's millions upon millions of people that enjoy that kind of thing, and more power to you if you enjoy that. But me personally, this is my opinion piece, cannot stand that style of gameplay, and it really is disappointing that the fact that this world looks genuinely interesting, and I was in at the start, I was like, this looks fantastic, and then the moment they go out into the world, which by the way, again, the world looks gorgeous and I really do want to explore it, but I don't want to explore it with other people, I don't want to explore it with missions constantly on my HUD telling me all these levels and all this gear. And there's a point in the gameplay reveal where the players are talking about loot they got and the new guns they got and their certain levels and how rare it is, and it's like, oh no, please don't do that. I guess for me overall, Anthem represents something that is a missed opportunity. For me personally, again, people love this genre of game, people are gonna love Anthem. I know it. For me, this world and this universe looks so interesting, and I'm just really disappointed that it can't be a single player role-playing game in the vein of BioWare's previous adventures. Because now, if I want to go and explore this world, which I do, and if I want to dive into the lore of this universe that BioWare has created, I need to do so within the echo chamber, within the context and within the genre of this multiplayer grindfest kind of thing that Destiny does, that I just do not want to play or take part in the slightest. And that is why I genuinely don't care about Anthem, and Anthem does not interest me anymore in the slightest, simply because of the gameplay. Now, of course, this may change in the future, we get more details in the game, we see more stuff pre-release, and I could change my mind, but as of right now, what we've seen of Anthem, I'm not interested at all. So what do you guys think of Anthem? Do you love this kind of genre of game? Are you like me and you don't like it very much and you're disappointed that so many big studios are starting to work on these kind of Destiny style games? Make sure you let me know in the comment section below. But that's enough from me. Thank you all very much for watching. Do check out some of my other content and subscribe if you are new around here. But I will see you all next time. Do take care. Farewell.